Hello, it's Pattyjo. It's been a couple of days, I know. Well, I should just add that in. Okay, so we have heard the friends of Daryl Brooks say, and family say that, none of this was his fault. I can't even. Like, it's mentally ill people generally are not violent. That is the thing. I don't know, so weird. Okay, but let's hear his whiny butt response. Yeah.
I'll turn it over to you then. This is your opportunity to address the court. What, if anything, would you like to say, sir?
Drama.
I do have a lot to say. I would like to stand up if I may.
So that I could rattle my chains. Be all dramatic. Oh my God. What a priority one drama. Dude. Damn.
It's emotional. I apologize for taking so long. I want to start first by giving glory to
no.
God.
Do not bring us to church.
I believe in Jesus Christ wholeheartedly. I believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. I believe that he was sent here by the Father to die for all of our sins, everybody. Everybody in this courtroom today, everyone walking this planet, mostly for those of us who will believe. I believe that he was crucified on the cross at Calvary. And he shed his blood on that cross. And he died. He was buried. And that he rose again after 3 days to glory. Took his glorious place at the right hand of the Father. In the Bible says that he was exalted, given a name that is above all names, so that at the name of Jesus, every knee shall bow in heaven, on earth, and under the earth, and every tongue shall confess that Jesus is Lord, to the glory of God the Father. And it's not just something that I was taught by my family. It's something I believe in my heart. I just want to clarify one thing. A lot of references was made to
Your clear conscience.
one of the things I said regarding my conscience being clear. And having the time to think about it last night and to understand that the victims have the right to feel how they want to feel. They have the right to their opinions, and understanding that there's a lot of emotion, pain, frustration, anger, hatred, a lot of emotions. But I don't want that comment to be twisted. I don't want that comment to become another narrative that's ran with and taken out of context. That comment was made is because I made the decision to rededicate my life to Christ when this tragedy happened.
It didn't happen.
In no way did that comment refer to not having any remorse, not having any understanding.
You have remorse. And donkey.
It was strictly made to that point that I have repented, that I have asked God for forgiveness, that I have sent many prayers up. Learning how to wrap my head around this whole situation has been extremely hard. Extremely hard. You get minimal time to reflect in a place like this. But one of those minimal times that you get to reflect in a place like this is when you're alone in your cell. When it's just you and the walls. One of the victims made a comment about trying to understand why this happened. That's a question I struggle with myself.
Let me help you, Daryl. It happened because you are a selfish, hedonistic, monster goblin pig who thinks the entire world revolves around your narcissistic self. You are evil personified. You have no feel. Oh my God, there's I see it now. Look, evil personified. Monster goblin. You have no remorse. You have no emotion for anybody but yourself. You think that everybody should be just catering to you. Your absolute view on women is disgusting, like they're your servants or something. You're a goblin. You're a goblin. That's why it happened, because you're a goblin.
The why, the how.
The why, the how.
How could life ever get this far away from what it should be?
Which is everybody catering to me.
Regardless of what a lot of people may think about me, about who I am, about my family, about my beliefs. I know who I am.
I know who I am.
God knows who I am.
Yeah, he does.
and I don't have any words of anger, any shots, so to speak, to throw back. As I said before, I had to look inside myself and understand why the comments was being made, why people feel the way they feel, and they have the right to. If I may.
No.
You just need to turn forward, sir. I don't know that they're ready for that yet.
Respect it.
I don't respect anything.
I think it's important to state why I did want to turn. Comment was made about this mask. It's something that I've worn the whole year of this incident.
You mean you didn't want to turn around and say you were sorry? And the reason why you wore a mask is to hide that you're a goblin. Goblin. Bleh. I can't wait till he does that.
Well, I'm not gonna say don't, but I don't feel like I needed to go in too wild. Chose to wear this.
You don't.
There are a lot of different reasons why.
You don't need to go. You don't care. Nobody cares.
But it definitely has nothing to do with hiding anything.
Uh-huh.
There is nothing to hide. When you're on TV every day, when your life is being dissected for the world to see, when your family's on TV every day in some capacity, when you're on pretty much every social media platform, what is there to hide from? I want each and every victim in this incident, family members, those who lost loved ones, those who are still healing. I want you to know that no matter how you felt during this year, no matter how you felt yesterday, I want everyone to know. Also the community of WAUKESHA. I want you to know that not only am I sorry for what happened,
what you did,
I'm sorry that you could not see what's truly in my heart. That you cannot see the remorse that I have. That you cannot listen to all the phone calls that I've made to my family. That you cannot hear all the prayers that I've said in my cell. That you cannot count all the tears that I've dropped in this year.
Dropped.
The truth is hard a lot of times. I'm not very old by age standards, but I've been alive long enough to understand that a lot of people are comfortable with hearing what they want to hear, being told what they want to be told. And being okay with that. It's easy to accept what's on the surface. It's easy to accept what's being put out there. It's harder to pull back the veil. It's harder to look deeper than the surface. And regardless to the truth, I understand that there are many people that would never forgive what happened. I have to be okay with that. And I hold no ill will towards them for that. I have to be okay with the fact that people will be angry. Some for a long time, some forever. I think it was clear with respects to how I'm viewed.
What? Did that even make sense?
I will not respond to those comments in anger either. I want to also say that it is not me that can take any pain away, replace what was lost.
What you took?
Give back joy, happiness. There's so many other things that was lost that day. I think all that comes with belief in Christ. I believe that all that comes with time. It's a process.
How many people watch this and have wondered if they do weird things with their mouth? Do I do weird things with my... I'm pretty sure I do. But, ugh, how ugly.
It's a process that we all have to go through. I noticed a lot of things that that I've said over the duration of this trial were there's a lot of misconception. I don't consider myself to be a man of God yet. It's something that I'm learning with time, with faith,
time,
with study.
with faith and study.
Lord willing, I will make it to that point at God's appointed time. something that I'm learning. For anyone that doesn't think that I've spent time in the scriptures even before this, you're mistaken. Passages were quoted from Romans 6:23 in particular. The wages of sin is death. The wages of sin is death. That's Romans 6:23. It's a verse I'm very familiar with that I've read numerous times. Countless other passages are all passages that I'm familiar with. The thing about scripture is not only studying and reading it, it's about applying it to your life, applying it. It's not about just reading it or being able to quote it. It's about living it.
How many people find this ironic?
At times during this, doing all these proceedings, mostly trial, I've become frustrated at times.
Because the attention wasn't on you? Because they weren't just letting you walk home?
I want
Because none of the pretend
you,
things-
Your Honor, to know, I want the entire court to know that regardless to what you may think about those particular incidents, they were not personal. Being here throughout this year and the constant learning how to deal with everything, learning how to take
Bella Love, thank you. I love Beefy too. He is how I got through this whole thing. Like, I thought I was the only one making fun of this guy. Look at that face. How many hours is quick seconds? Drama.
everything in. What you see, what you hear, things being shouted at you, the threats, and everything that you have to deal with just being here. It was like a culmination. Sometimes you get so frustrated because you feel like your hands are tied. You don't know what to do. And for a person like me, it's easy for me to get to that point.
Nonsense, yeah.
And so it would come out in frustration. I take responsibility for that and apologize to you, Your Honor, in the court. Nothing about it was personal. It was a part of me that felt that I haven't been able to defend myself. And I think it was just the pot boiling over. I was wrong for not being able to control myself the times that I wasn't me. For Long as I can remember, I've dealt with a lot of issues. And going back to what I said a little bit earlier about what people see on the surface, a lot of people don't understand what it is to battle mental health issues.
Oh my God.
Not just that, but the difficulties of life in general. The childhood I had. Not having a father, having to see my mom sometimes work 2 and 3 jobs just to be able to support us. I remember being a child and me and my sister, my mom only had 2 children. My sisters passed away. But I remember being a child and me and my sister and my mom standing in the welfare line to get milk, to get cheese, bread, Spam. And when you're a kid, you don't understand that. You think it's normal. I remember living in apartment buildings infested with rodents and bugs. Pouring in cereal in your bowl and having bugs in it. A lot of people weren't raised like that, so it would be hard for them to pull back that veil and understand that. Physical abuse, by the people that are supposed to love you.
Maybe you were a little brat.
Trying to understand why your mind thinks the way it does. Why you don't comprehend certain things. Why no one can provide the answers that you want. The fact of the matter is, I have at times been medicated.
Okay, so what?
Have been in mental health facilities, only for a short time. I can honestly say that life was better. It helped.
Doing with your mouth?
I think when you're going through something mentally that you don't understand. It always helps when you have people not so much that can relate. That also helps, but it's more, it's not the relating part of it, it's more of the that you can feel comfortable being yourself with. Someone to listen, someone to tell you that,
Manipulate.
hey, it's all right.
Go by your
You
script.
can't let your guard down.
Beat into compliance.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And back to what I said about truth.
Truth.
People are going to, like I said, believe what they want, and that's okay. But this needs to be said.
What needs to be said, Daryl? I'm sorry.
What happened on November 21st, 2021
What I did.
was not
Oh my God.
not an attack. It was not planned, plotted. When you constantly hear that perpetuated, constantly pushed, constantly pushed, constantly pushed, you wonder why.
Because it was an attack.
This was not an attack.
Oh my God.
This was not an intentional act. No matter how many times you say it over and over, it was not. I have a lot of, and this has nothing to do with the victims, the families of the victims. And as a matter of fact, I'm grateful that they had the opportunity to voice their opinions and their frustrations and their angers, because I believe and hopefully that will alleviate some of the wounds. I could never point a finger at them and say they're wrong for what they said, their opinions, how they feel. Never. And I won't do it. I won't do it now, and I won't do it ever. They're well within their rights to feel how they feel. I felt a lot of frustration and anger yesterday, not towards any of the victims. It was towards
Oh, Jesus.
Miss Susan L. Opera. And I won't even throw shots back at her.
Yes, you will.
Again, I choose to take the high road.
I don't think you should have said that. How many people here think he should not have said, take the high road?
In spite of the clear language that was used by her, I'm not gonna fire back.
Uncle Stretch 77, I say that to, oh my God, look at that. I say that to myself every day, and I think going through this with all of you, I didn't expect to have anybody, subscribing and following, but I think this is going to cleanse this from my soul. Damn, look at that face. Yes. What's your name? Uncle something 77. Uncle Stretch 77. Why am I so fascinated with the behavior of this troll goblin stomping through Earth? I mean, not just WAUKESHA. WAUKESHA was just one little pinpointed place that he just did a lot of destruction. He destroyed every place he went. Like slapping poo everywhere. Poo troll. The poo troll. That was good. Okay.
I'm not gonna do that.
Not gonna do that. Mr. Zap.
Am I angry? Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
But so what?
That's right. So what?
When it boils down to it,
You don't matter.
the whole prosecution team had a job to do. Can't be mad at somebody for doing their job.
Doing day job. What was your job, Daryl?
Attorney Basie, Attorney Witchow, I respect you guys. Regardless of what you may feel about me, I respect you guys. I really do. I respect you too, Attorney Opera.
No, you don't. And I don't care.
The difference between all you guys is you, Attorney Opera, I don't respect how you did your job. And I never will.
Okay. I'm sure that breaks her bleeding heart.
But I refuse to get into name calling. I refuse to raise my voice. I refuse to do any of that. And I realized that last night. The part of me that I don't understand why it goes the way it goes had every intention to come in here and lay into you. out of frustration and out of the fact of feeling that I needed to defend myself by some of the things you said. How you had the audacity to speak on situations that had nothing to do with this tragedy, as if you were there, as if you had intimate details, as if you knew everything that led up to those allegations.
They aren't allegations anymore, Daryl. They aren't allegations. They were either where you were found guilty or where you pled and said you were guilty of them. And quite frankly, that was just time. Those were just times you were caught. You probably spent every day of your miserable existence causing havoc in everybody's life. I've got a granddaughter coming.
Just by reading the police report. I think every situation is unique in its own way. It all has different circumstances that leads to ultimately what ends up happening. Reading the police report doesn't give you the right to pass judgment on a situation that,
No, the conviction does.
frankly, is none of your concern.
Basie is so disgusted. Oh, look at.
Honestly,
Oh my goodness.
you would think for someone that's been doing your job as long as you have, you would think you would understand that. You would think that you have some kind of integrity.
Really?
Even with that, not gonna bash,
Okay.
not gonna say anything disrespectful,
Okay.
not gonna call you anything other than your God-given name.
You really can't do that either.
As far as the integrity though,
He's measuring integrity. Ugh.
I won't ever be able to wrap my head around why you did things the way you did it. Made reference to this being an open and shut case. Yet you needed a whole team to prosecute an open and shut case, as you say. And again, no disrespect to Attorney Basie, Attorney Whitchild.
Those victims, every person in that town was a victim. Even we are victims of him, just being stuck into this. But everybody who was injured, all of the people who he unalived, they all deserve
Someone is at front door.
Sorry. The team. Let me pause this. Let's listen to him continue with the rape opera.
I feel like they was the reasons why your case had any strong points.
Who cares?
Not from you.
You know, if she had any respect for you, that might hurt.
"31 years," you said. Well, yeah, you did say 31 years that you've done this. 31 years. I don't believe you're that bright. Yet, I respect you having the resolve to take on something of this magnitude for this community. Can't do nothing but respect that. And regardless, when I leave this courtroom, I will have no ill feelings with anyone.
That's so important to her.
I know this is being live streamed.
Yeah.
I believe even in other countries. I've gotten some mail from Germany, Belgium. A lot of it hate mail.
No kidding.
Which doesn't. I stopped reading it months ago, so it doesn't really affect me. It's irrelevant. I do want to say something to everybody watching, as far as those who take the time, spend the energy and money to write and spew hate, not just against myself, but my family, my children. I have no value in anything that you say.
You have no value. You're correct.
Doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect me. Keep up the bad work.
He just really thinks this is his platform.
To everyone else, the people that have sent letters of support, I thank you for that, because it's not an easy thing to show love and support to someone who's the most hated man on the planet at this point right now in time. It's not easy. It takes a lot of courage to do that. I thank you for that. My family thanks you for that. I want to say to the mother of my children, the mothers, excuse me, of my children.
I'm proud of that.
Obviously, I think I think I should start with the obvious, Erica Patterson. I want you to know, if you're watching, I always have love for you. You're one of the mothers of my children. I can never hate you. I refuse to go that route. Always have love for you. I always respect you. We got a beautiful daughter. I haven't always been right in the things that I've said, things I've done in regards to you. Mm-hmm. What I will say is, it always takes two.
Oh, now he's gonna blame her. One of the reasons why it took me so long to do any of this was because of that particular air quote relationship. Okay? I don't know if I can use this term on YouTube or if I'm going to get into trouble for it, but he so much as groomed her. He was an adult in his mid-20s, later mid-20s, and she was a 15-year-old child when she became pregnant by him. That is grooming. And then he went into this destructive cycle of abuse with her for years and years and years. And she simply did not have people say, why do you stay if you're hit? Why do you stay? Because it's not unilateral. There's not one reason to stay or go. There's many reasons for both sides. And what you need on the outside to get out of that is support. And if she didn't have a strong family or friends at the time, and she was already emotionally and mentally beat down by this process, that, it's hard. It's harder than you think. So he is just such a scuzz. Okay, moving on. Keep going, stupid. I can't.
I pray that at some point you will reconcile with your children.
He really has something to say about that.
And that you remember who I am here in my heart. Mm-hmm. That you remember that.
Goblin.
My oldest son, who's an adult, his mother, beautiful, beautiful spirit. I thank her for the times that she was there to listen when no one else was, when I couldn't figure out what the heck was going on in life, and I was being pulled to this direction or that direction, and just couldn't figure things out. She would take the time to sit and listen, and I thank her for it. Times where I had nowhere to go, she would find me in the back of
a dumpster,
abandoned cars or trucks or something of that nature.
We used to call those condominiums or abandonminiums.
And she would do things to help. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of people, a lot of good people out there in the world still. She's one of them. I thank you, Angel. That's her name too, by the way, Angel. When I was all over the place mentally, couldn't sit still, couldn't make decisions. Trying to figure out how life would go being young parents, the both of us. She never once judged me. She never once ridiculed me and downed me because of my issues. She always was willing to be there. I'm eternally grateful for that. Jessica, my youngest daughter's mom. I believe it's a reason why God puts anyone in your life at the time that he does.
Are you okay? What would you like to do? Want to take a little rest before the pool opens? Are you hungry? Okay. All right. Sorry. I'm going to take a little break and make a little snack. Okay. Snack secured. Let's listen to the rest of this tripe. What's wrong with my mouse?
You came into my life at a time where everything was chaotic. I didn't have a clue how to even begin to put one foot in front of the other. You came into my life at a time where I was pondering, what did I even have to live for?
Oh my God. And we missed out on that, eh?
And in the midst of that, you gave me my daughter, my baby girl. I always get emotional talking about her in particular, because she's such a daddy's girl. We're very, very close. Very close. I felt like when Missy was born, that was God giving me a chance to make good on the mistakes I made with my older two children at the time. I felt like that was
And yet,
redemption. Everything that I didn't do right before, I had the chance to right that wrong.
and yet,
She's probably the same.
he looks like what would happen if you fed crystal meth to a gremlin after midnight.
single-handed reason why I'm even still breathing. She's such a light in my life. Such a light. She doesn't even understand the extent of everything that's going on.
Not.
She doesn't know what it is not to be able to talk to me when she wants to be able to see me when she wants to.
Oh, she knows that.
She just doesn't get it, and I know that. And I'm mindful that there are people in this community that feel the same exact way. That lights in their life that
You extinguish.
are taken.
Yes. Ugh.
So without being insensitive to that, I'll move past that.
Thank you.
I just want to tell my baby girl that I love her. I love you, Missy. My baby boy
Oh, Jesus. I got more.
was born in June, during the time that I've been here. His mother, Quita.
I thought I had a bad picker. These
I
women.
regret not being able to be there for the times that both of them needed me the most.
Are they cooled down yet? Yummy?
It's not an easy thing for a woman to go through a pregnancy with virtually no help.
Oh, yeah.
Having to move residencies because of this tragedy, not feeling safe while she was pregnant, not feeling safe, receiving threats, things like that. And I wasn't there. I know what it's like to be at the birth of your children and see them born and cut the umbilical cord and to do all those things. I've done that. And to not be able to do it for her and for him.
It's your own fault.
To only know what he looks like because of pictures. for her to not feel safe to be in the city or be around my family members, to build that rapport, because she can't mentally deal with everything that comes with. And for me to not be able to help her, for me to not have any words to uplift her.
You never uplifted anybody in your whole life.
Her expressing her anger to me, not knowing how everything would go. It's hurtful. I want her to know, I believe God has a plan for everything, and
It's just excruciating. I might have to cut this short and do it.
it's about doing the best you can inside of God's will.
Okay. We're gonna have to cut this into two, because I can't any longer. He's making me nauseous. Okay, thank you for joining. Like, subscribe, comment. Please keep them coming in. They're fantastically hilarious. I will see you with the rest of this tripe later. Probably later today. See you later. It's Patty Jo. Bye.